The direct conflict between Iran and Israel that erupted in June 2025 has emerged as one of the most complex and dangerous escalations in recent history. This war has not only reshaped the political and military landscape of the Middle East, but has also had deep impacts on the global economy and energy markets. On June 13, 2025, Israel launched a massive aerial offensive under the operation named a Rising Law. This operation involved over 200 aircraft and drones targeting Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure. Sites in Natanz, Isfahan, and Tehran were among the primary targets, along with key Revolutionary Guard bases and residences of top military and scientific personnel. According to Israel, the objective of the strikes was to significantly degrade Iran's nuclear weapon capabilities. Initial reports confirmed heavy damage to administrative and research facilities at Natanz and airfield. Civilian casualties were also reported, with Iran claiming at least 78 people dead, including children. In immediate retaliation, Iran launched a counteroffensive named a True Promise 3, firing at least 150 ballistic missiles and deploying more than 100 drones. These attacks targeted Tel Aviv, Haifa, and other major urban centers. While Israel's Iron Dome and advanced air defense systems intercepted many of the incoming threats, some missiles did manage to strike civilian and military sites. The attacks left at least 10 Israeli citizens dead and hundreds injured. Critical infrastructure, including government buildings, power plants, and air bases, sustained damage, creating a heightened sense of vulnerability across Israel. The regional atmosphere quickly grew tense as mutual attacks intensified. Within a week, both countries had inflicted significant damage on each other, while global diplomatic efforts remained stalled. Oman, which previously acted as a mediator in nuclear negotiations, suspended all dialogue initiatives. Iran refused to return to the negotiating table until Israeli attacks were halted. The lack of a diplomatic path forward raised serious concerns in international. Global energy markets responded immediately. Oil prices surged by 6 to 9% due to fears of supply disruption from the Gulf. The strike significantly undermined Iran's energy production and export capacity, which in turn impacted global fuel supplies and triggered volatility in financial markets. Meanwhile, regional actors began to stir. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Houthi militias in Yemen, and Shia paramilitary groups in Iraq initiated limited strikes in support of Iran. While none of them entered the war on a full scale, these proxy skirmishes signaled the growing risk of regional escalation. Rocket attacks from Yemen and assaults on U.S. assets in Iraq further broadened the scope of the conflict and drew the attention of major world powers. The United States publicly reaffirmed its support. While it has not yet launched direct military operations, it has deployed THAAD missile defense systems and naval fleets to the eastern Mediterranean and the Persian. American aircraft carriers and destroyers now patrol the region, creating an overwhelming military presence that underscores potential future involvement. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared that other path to Tehran is open and vowed to destroy every Iranian military site if attacks continue. On the Iranian side, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei vowed a total annihilation of the Zionist regime and authorized expanded missile and drone strikes. His tone indicated Iran's willingness to pursue full-scale war if necessary. This exchange of threats pushed the region into one of its most volatile phases since the 1973 Yom Kippur War. Beyond conventional warfare, the cyber domain also became a battleground. Intelligence sources reported multiple cyber attacks on power grids, oil pipelines, and financial systems in both countries. These attacks aim to cripple each other's economies and disrupt command and control capabilities. Iran reportedly targeted Israeli banks and telecom networks, while Israeli hackers attempted to shut down Iran's missile control systems and nuclear research networks. Humanitarian costs continue to rise. Israel confirmed at least 10 civilian deaths and around 300 injuries from Iranian strikes. Iran, on the other hand, reported close to 80 fatalities and over 800 injured due to Israeli bombings. The destruction of urban infrastructure such as hospitals, airports, oil refineries, and residential zones has left thousands. In Tel Aviv, the Weizmann Institute was damaged, while in Tehran, the shehron oil depot burned for 2 consecutive days before being brought under control. The conflict also had immediate regional repercussions. Jordan closed its airspace. Cyprus began preparing for humanitarian aid missions, and international shipping routes through the Red Sea and Strait of Hormuz experienced disruptions. These changes not only slowed down global logistics, but also caused insurance premiums for oil tankers and cargo ships to skyrocket. Diplomatic responses from global powers varied. The United Nations, European Union, and many traditional allies issued strongly worded statements urging restraint. However, few took concrete steps beyond expressing concern. China and Russia called for calm and dialogue, but neither offered military intervention. Analysts warned that the limited global action indicated a dangerous trend of detachment from escalating. Many political observers now consider this confrontation a potential precursor to World War III. The risk is particularly high given the involvement of nuclear-capable states, regional militias, and powerful international actors. The surge in oil prices, turmoil in stock markets, and large-scale displacement have already created ripples across continents. A new element in Israel's military strategy emerged with the revelation of a covert drone base inside Iranian territory. This base reportedly launched precise drone attacks on Iranian missile launchers and disrupted Tehran's counterattack capabilities. Military is a game-changing tactic, giving Israel deeper penetration into Iranian command zones and reducing Iran's response time. The key question now is how and when this war will end. Analysts present 2 possibilities. Either international pressure and market volatility force both sides into a ceasefire, or the war continues into a prolonged confrontation resembling a modern Cold War-style standoff. If Israeli offensives escalate, or if the U.S. joins the conflict militarily, the scale could grow rapidly. On the flip side, if Iran mobilizes its full arsenal, including long-range ballistic missiles and cyber weapons, the conflict could extend to sea lanes, trade choke points, and even European interests. The Strait of Hormuz remains one of the most sensitive. Any Iranian move to block or threaten this vital shipping lane could lead to immediate retaliation by Western naval forces. That scenario could instantly widen the war to include NATO assets and Gulf Cooperation Council countries. Attacks on oil tankers or infrastructure in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, or the UAE would likely draw them into the conflict as well. As of now, the war remains a 2-party confrontation, but all indicators suggest it may not stay that way for long. With thousands of lives at risk, regional economies in turmoil, and the global energy market under stress, the world watches anxiously for signs of either escalation or de-escalation. Until a firm political or military resolution is achieved, the Iran-Israel War of 2025 threatens to become a historic conflict with global consequences.